Here's a quick update on my building lights project that I had a few videos on earlier showing you the circuit board and other things that I was doing with the wires for the LEDs. Since I started this project, I found that there is a new product coming out this February. It's going to be available this February on the website for interiors of DPM buildings, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. But I rethought everything and I had to do a lot of changes on it. So here's here's a little bit of history of what I did. I showed you a couple of videos of the progress of my building lights, and what I had to do was restart everything. Here is what I have right now. What I did was I put some headers on there for the components for the Nano and the DF Player Mini. Here was the original board right here, and you can see I destroyed this thing here after I messed up the voltage regulator on here. And originally, you know, I was thinking about putting this on headers, and I said, nah, I'll just solder everything onto the board, which was a mistake. So I had to start everything over again. I have some new connectors for it. They're just a little bit bigger than the original. I could put them side by sides where you could see them. I have the two of them side by side right here, and you can see on the left is the smaller one. That's a 2mm, and the one on the right is the 2.5mm, and the 2.5mm fits directly into the holes. These holes, the holes on a breadboard, are 2.5mm. The problem you run into with these smaller ones is when you get more pins on it, like a 3-pin or a 4-pin, they don't fit correctly on the breadboard like that, or in a pre-punched circuit board like I have right here, because the holes are 2.5mm on those. So what I ended up doing was buying a box of these 2, 3, 4, and 5 pin. I have 2 rows of 6, and I got the SIP resistor here, 470 ohm. I have this one right here, and I have a short one right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put regular resistors in here. You need 2 1000 ohm resistors for the communication between the DF Player Mini and the Nano. And so those resistors are going to go in here. You can see it's going to be sitting like this right here. What I'm going to do underneath here, so this space isn't wasted, I'm going to put 3 pins at 90 degrees, so they're sticking out here, and that's going to be for the sensor if I decide to use a sensor on there. And also those 2 resistors are going to be underneath here. Now I could put a little bit more underneath there. I don't have a 90-degree one for the speaker, and I may put a voltage regulator on here. I'm not sure. I'll see if I could come up with all the components that I need for that. I could probably make me a little voltage regulator on there, so I could just plug it into there, and no matter what it is, I could bring it down to over here. But I haven't decided on that yet. I'm still thinking on that. Now, here's another thing that I'm going to change on the project. Now, you see all these things sitting up on top, those little black dividers in there. About not quite a month ago, I saw Miles Hale and this other gentleman who is making the Roomettes, and he introduced them at the Amherst Train Show, and his website's supposed to be available sometime in February. On my Tom's Trains and Things Facebook page, I have a link to the video that I'm referring to here. I'm going to go that route with the Roomettes instead of that. Now, the Roomettes come with lighting, but I'm still going to use my own lighting. I already have it made up, and I think from the video they're also using the little SMD LEDs on there, so these will fit right in the hole that he has that pops out at the top of the room, and I'll just have to stick that up on top of it. But that's the route I'm going to go with that, since that is a lot easier than what I'm doing with this. You notice this one here is for that corner one, and this is where the doorway is, and I would still have to put the interior in there, and it's just photographs that I picked up off of Google, and what he has for the interiors is a lot better. It's a lot less work, and I'm going to go that route. I'm just going to pitch these, maybe use some of this stuff for something else if I could find a use for it. But that's going to work a whole lot better. So whenever he gets his website up and taking orders for the roomettes, I'm going to start working on that, and I'll finish this thing up, and by that time I should have this circuit board right here finished and ready to go to put the lights on it and put some sound on it also. So that's where we are with that right now. It's been a long journey. I learned a lot, and hopefully I won't make those mistakes again. I got the things on the headers now, so I could easily replace them if something happens to the Nano or the DF Player Mini, which I just dropped. Luckily these things are pretty solid. I mean, you got the components on there, so no problem with damaging them that way, unless the only way you damage them is shorten them out or something like that, like I did with the Nano. So that's where we are with that right now. Hopefully I'll have that video out sometime towards the end of February. If you take a look at the video I referenced on these roomettes, you'll see that this is a lot easier to do than what I was attempting, and then you'll realize why I just scrapped what I was doing whenever I saw this for the first time. I think I saw it the first time on LinkedIn. And so I'm going to go that route. I'm just waiting for the website to go live where you could order things, and I'll see what they are. Order a few of them for my buildings back there, and I'll continue with this building lighting project along with finishing off this circuit board right here. As you can see, I don't have any of the wires on the back. I just have the headers and the plugs on there now. I still have a few components to add to it yet. Coming up shortly, we're going to be giving you an update on Rock Creek. I have a lot done on there, and I'm going to show you what I did and where we're going to go from that. Things have been going a little bit slow this past week because we had to take Sadie into the hospital. She had to have emergency surgery because she had a herniated disc. Little dogs jump off of beds and couches and stuff like that and hurt their backs. And she was in the hospital for a couple of days. We brought her home. She had a blood clot in her catheter, so we had to take her back because none of her urine was coming out, and it was blocking up her bladder, and it made her sick, and she was throwing up everything that she had eaten for the past days. So we took her back, they cleaned it out, they kept her overnight again, and we brought her home this morning, and she's doing fine right now. Debbie and her are sleeping on the futon. Have emergency surgery on the weekend. Took us broke, so we won't be going to train shows except for the one in Fort Myers. I wanted to go to the one in the Villages. That's not going to happen. That's this weekend, and so we just can't make the trip because Sadie has to have constant attention for at least a couple of weeks until she gets her catheter out and she has feeling in her back legs again. So, until the next time, we'll see ya.